Man, I really want to get that job. I really want to start going to the gym. I really want to study for my test, but I just don't feel motivated. I'll start when I feel motivated. I don't feel like it right now. How do I be more motivated? These are things that many people say, especially teens and young adults who I help. And a better question, instead of how do I be more motivated, a better question is, how do I take action even when I don't feel motivated? Because the funny thing is this, you get motivation after you start. Because starting is the hardest part, but just keep going and the motivation keeps coming. That we're going to talk about today. For those who are new, my name is Lawrence. I am a public speaker and author. I help high school students to overcome challenges, build confidence, and make better decisions so that they can succeed academically and in life. And throughout my own life, something I've noticed is it can be hard to do the thing you know you should do because you don't feel motivated. But once you learn how to take action, even when you don't feel motivated, you're able to keep going on the days when it's hard. Because I don't feel like making this video right now. I'll be completely honest with you. I'm not very motivated to do it. I don't always feel motivated to go to the gym. I don't always feel motivated to do a lot of things, but I still get them done. Why? Because I made them a habit. I made it a habit to go to the gym every morning. I made it a habit to post my videos, at least one YouTube video, every 2 days. I've made it a habit to post daily clips on my TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube channel. So the question now is, okay, Lawrence, how do I make the thing that I want to do a habit so that I keep doing it even when I don't feel motivated? Here's how. The way habits are formed is it's our brain's way of getting a specific feeling or reward. An example of a habit would be I feel bored, so I scroll on my phone. That way, I don't feel bored anymore. There is a thing, so it's a cue. So you can think of the cue as a time of day, a place, a feeling. It could be anything really. It's just a specific thing. In this case, I feel bored. Then there's the action. I scroll on my phone. Then there's the reward. I don't feel bored anymore. So, how do we make your goal into a habit that you're able to do consistently, even when you don't feel like it? You have to figure out what is the cue. So, for me, sending emails every day at a specific time, let's just say 9:15 a.m. That's usually around when I do it. I sit down in front of my computer. That's the cue. I sit down in front of my computer and I open email. The action is sending emails. The reward is I feel productive. The reward is I might get a response. So we want to have a specific action associated with the goal, a specific cue, so a signal, and a specific reward. So for you, going to the gym, let's say a time of day. Every day at 8:45 a.m. or 3 p.m., you go to the gym. That's the cue, a time of day. The reward is you feel excited, you feel productive, you feel energized after the gym. And the action is, obviously going to the gym. So, to recap, figure out what is your goal, such as I want to have a six pack by, well, I want to have a six pack within a reasonable time. So, by reasonable time, you have to be honest with yourself. Like, you're not about to drop 70 pounds in a year. You have to think of what is a goal that you can actually achieve. Like, going from an A minus to an A, well, going from an F minus to an A plus in a single month, I mean, technically possible, but highly unlikely. Now, instead, what you can do is I'm going to go from an F minus to a C. That's possible. That's very realistic to do within 3 months. Now, what is the action, or what is the cue going to be? The cue could be I sit down at my dining room table and take out my homework. The action, I do my homework. The reward, I get to watch YouTube. So you have a cue, an action, a reward. And you want this to be associated with getting you closer to your goal. And essentially, what you're doing is building positive habits that you're going to just do naturally, and those are going to get you closer to your goal. Because a habit is really something we do without thinking about it. You don't think about brushing your teeth with the same hand, the same way, every time. You don't think about tying your shoes the exact same way every time. These are just habits. And a habit is a way of our brain not having to spend a lot of mental energy on doing a specific task. You eat the same way, you wash up the same way, you tie your shoe the same way, you brush your teeth the same way, because these are things that we do so often that our brain just habitualizes it so that we don't have to really think about it. And when you figure out a habit that will get you closer to your goal and you make it a habit, you just don't have to think about it. Like, even though I might not feel like going to the gym every day, I don't really think about it. I just do it because it's part of my routine. It's part of my habit. My body is like, oh, well, Mark, around this time we go to the gym, so do it. And your brain will start to release these chemicals called dopamine, which motivate you to do stuff. And after you do after you achieve a goal or do something that gets you closer to your goal, your brain will start to release this. And what dopamine also does is it makes you anticipate a reward. So if you see food, your brain releases dopamine with anticipation of getting the food. So you feel motivated to go eat. Now, at first, it's going to be hard. At first, you're going to look at the homework and be like, oh my gosh, this is boring. I don't want to do this. And there will be other times where you'll be like, yeah, I can just do this easily. Regardless, though, what you're doing over time is building up the habit of doing things that will get you closer to your goal. And even though every day won't be perfect, even though you won't feel like it every day, if you just take a little step forward each and every day, and then some days you take these really big steps forward, you'll start making progress. Now, with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. You can also find my books and one-on-one coaching in the links below. Have a great day.